Check. Check 1, check 2.
Hi, my name's Dr. Dan. Welcome to another Voice Essentials Quick Tip. This is part 2 of choosing the right singing teacher. Choosing the right singing teacher for you. Quickly to recap, we talked about the fact that this is an unregulated industry. It can be so difficult to find a great singing teacher, but the great singing teachers always fall into one of three categories, whether they be a stylist coach, a technical coach, or a singing voice specialist like myself. But now let's talk about the questions that you can be asking, whether it be via email or on the phone, of the people local to your area to enable you to find a great singing teacher. And I've got a whole list of questions here that you can ask. Well, before you even make the phone call, you want to do a quick Google search. Look for some reviews on the person you're about to call. Often great singing teachers have got reviews. They've not always, but often they've got a great website and they'll be able to display their wares. And you want to go looking online, and with Google and other search engines, it's really easy to do that now. The second thing is determine whether you want to have private lessons, that is lessons other than those in a music school. More often than not, and this is not always the case, so it's not a definite rule, but more often than not, your more skilled singing teachers and your more experienced singing teachers will be found not in a music school, a singing school, but often teaching off in their own private studios in the suburbs. Thirdly, you want to ask, when you give them the call, ask them politely, what are your qualifications? How long have you been teaching? Do you have any formal education in the teaching of voice? And the word that is usually used around that is pedagogy. Have you done any formal pedagogy education? And also, what are your performance credentials? How long have you been performing? Are you still performing? Now that's all of these questions don't either rule someone in or someone out on your list as to whether you're going to choose them or not, but they certainly give some really good indications as to the level of teacher that you might be about to sign up to. Fourthly, you want to ask about the associations that the singing teacher is involved in. For example, in America, you want to know, is this singing teacher associated with a group called NATS, the National Association of Teachers of Singing? In Australia, they're called ANATS. In England, you might want to be looking for the BVA, the British Voice Association. All of these associations provide professional development to their members. You want to know that your singing teacher is ongoing in their professional development. Why? Because singing teaching is an incredibly fast-moving research field, and we're learning so much all the time, new things about how the voice operates. You want to know that your singing teacher has access to the latest and greatest information. What type of singing teacher is the person that you're going to be having lessons from? Firstly, are they a classical teacher or a contemporary teacher? Do they focus mostly on music theatre? Again, remember, you want a singing teacher that's going to be task specific. That is, if you are wanting to be a rock singer, I highly recommend you go looking for a contemporary voice teacher, not a classical teacher. The old rules of classical tuition is the best for all types of singing is dead and buried. There is no longer any reasonable research to back that up, and that idea is typically driven by a bias and a prejudice. I want you to go looking. If you're a contemporary singer, make sure you're getting contemporary lessons from a contemporary singing teacher. Equally, if you want to do classical voice, find a classical teacher, someone with expertise and experience in teaching classical voice. Another question you might want to ask is, what kind of equipment do you have in your studio? Is it just simply a piano where we stand next to it and sing, which in a classical lesson is certainly going to be the way? Or in a contemporary voice lesson, you're going to want to know that your teacher has things like microphones, studio desk, fold back, a whole range of other pieces of equipment that can run backing tracks. And so make sure that you ask about the equipment. Your lesson fee doesn't simply pay for the time. It pays for the equipment that supports your learning. So these are good questions to ask. And finally, you might want to ask about, well, what additional support do you give to my learning? You want to ask, do you provide exercise CDs for me to go away and learn with? All of your learning voice doesn't happen purely in your half an hour or hour lesson with your teacher. It happens between the lessons. And so make sure that in your practice, you're supported in your practice. Exercise CDs. Does your teacher have teaching videos that can be supporting you between lessons? Do you get given handouts as a part of the lesson? And I did say finally before, but one final thing, does your teacher provide performance opportunities? Now, no singing teacher is a performance agent, but good singing teachers and good singing studios will often provide you with a performance opportunity. 1, 2, certainly I provide 4 a year. And so you want to be able to have the opportunity to get up on stage and put into practice the things that you've been learning. There are some things that you simply can't teach in the lesson. You must learn them on the stage. There's a whole range of questions there that I hope you find helpful in asking your prospective singing teacher. And remember, your YouTube clips, the videos that you buy online, they can't observe, diagnose, and correct. The best way to learn singing is to have a one-on-one individual singing lesson with a qualified singing teacher, whether they be a stylist coach, a technical coach, or a singing voice specialist. As always, I hope you found this video really helpful and that you're able to go and find yourself a great singing teacher. And don't hesitate to leave us some comments under the clip so you can tell us where you found your great singing teacher. And as always, I really invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because by doing so, I'm going to be able to continue to give you some great tips as you continue to learn your voice with your great singing teacher. All the best.